In San Francisco, like all the other cities in the country, the election commission decides who can vote and how you can campaign and so on. And when you have a complaint, you come to them and they decide. They have just put on that board someone who came to the country illegally, someone who's not a citizen, someone who can't vote, but is going to decide whether or not you can vote and how you can campaign. That's San Francisco for you. The San Francisco Elections Commission, this is the commission that runs all the elections in that area. And they decide who's legally allowed to vote, who's going to be on the ballot, who represents what group. You know what it is. If you have a complaint, your opponent maybe sent out false and misleading advertising about you, go to the Elections Commission. They said I was blah, 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 and I'm not. Here's the proof. And then they fine the other side, or they revoke the mailer, or you know what I mean. They have now appointed someone who is not legally allowed to vote and isn't even an American citizen to sit on the commission to decide who can vote. I'm going to say it again. They have appointed someone, Kelly Wong. She's from Hong Kong. The rest of the board said this is a milestone for all immigrants and marginalized communities. This is someone who's not an American. This is someone who's not legally allowed to vote. But she's going to decide if you can, and a couple other million other people. To me, this is like step one on the way to giving immigrants the right to vote. And when I say immigrants, I don't mean the people that went in the front door. I mean the people that climbed over through the window in the back illegally, and they're felons.
Yep.
And I think that's coming.
It absolutely is. You know what, Barry? I remember a couple of years ago in California, San Francisco specifically, that they were actually allowing illegals to vote on school board issues. So they were already voting in local state elections. And people were like, why are they voting? And they said, well, it's just, because their kids are going to the schools, they get to vote about what's happening with their kids going to the schools. And a whole bunch of stupid liberals like, oh, that makes sense. I understand now. And this step here is just another step closer to getting illegals just a free pathway to vote. So now she's going to say that, nope, you don't get to vote. You don't get to vote. You don't get to vote. And everyone she's saying that won't get to vote will be American citizens. But all of these illegals, you get to vote. You get to vote. You get to vote. So they're going to revoke your right to vote, to exercise your civic duties in this nation. They're going to revoke that, but everyone who's here illegally broke the law, come on in. They're changing the country, Barry.
You have just guessed the next question. She came to the country illegally. She's here illegally. And she says that we need to change our voting laws to allow non-citizens to vote. Bingo!
Yep. They're already on them. They're already doing it.
They're not keeping it a secret. She's advertising it.
Yep.
And she got a unanimous vote from the rest of the board. I hope this is her closing. I'm hoping there will be a day when it won't be newsworthy that you have someone who's an immigrant and a non-citizen involved in helping make the city better, especially in a city with such a large percentage of the community as immigrants. Meaning, hey, let's look forward to the day where there are no rules about how you got there, whether you're a citizen or not, whether you pay your taxes or not, whether you follow the law a lot or not, but you get to decide who votes. And even better news, you get to vote. Forget that citizenship crap. It's all a bunch of, red tape, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what, Barry? It should go down in the history books as when the United States of America fell. I mean, we're seeing it.
We're breathing
all the way from California to New York. And it's about to be Escape from New York. And there was actually a movie, Escape from L.A. And we're about this. Yeah. And it's like, Kurt Russell they really want that to be the case. And we didn't even really talk about what's happening in New York right now with all these truck drivers talking about they're not going in there, and what Letitia James and his corrupt judge did, and all these businesses leaving. Did you know in 2022, over 500,000 people had already left? So the census report is down. So they got to have these people in there to count the census report because it's just bodies. It's just bodies. Immigrants. And then Jerry Nadler's from New York, and he's talking about having them vote there too.
Well, because they're going to teach them how to vote. And part of how to vote is who to vote for.
Yes. Yep.
Right? Oh,
Yep.
I know you're having a little bit of trouble with the language. This gal in San Francisco wants all the ballots in different languages. I can't even imagine what those ballots might say. I don't speak Mandarin Chinese.
No.
Had to be in English. You know why? Because that's our language.
Yeah. It's so wild. Oh my goodness.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I don't know how many tribes there are in Africa, how many tribes there are in South America and Central America, how many tribes there are in Alaska, how many tribes there are in America. There's a lot of indigenous peoples with native languages. I don't know, 100? Can you imagine 100 ballots in different languages, and somebody's going to have to determine if every ballot was done correctly?
Yeah. Signatures. How do you verify that?
Or you can just put them in English, but nah, it's racist and it's discriminatory and it's exclusionary and all these other bad words that are stupid and made up and cause you to feel bad about yourself, when the reality is they're all intended to level the playing field. And these people don't want that. They really don't.
Yeah. They want to make sure they keep California blue. They want to make sure they keep it that way. Even when the people decide that they've had it with the Democrat Party, they want to keep it blue, and they will do whatever by any means necessary. If we have to do X, Y, Z to make that happen, then we'll do it.